Welcome to the Add Up to the Brush. We're more or less finished the tank. We've got the support done. We've got the base of the tank complete. We're now at the stage where we want to add some sort of special effects to it, make it look a little bit more interesting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Lahmian medium, as I explained last time I did this on the lemon rust. I feel that the Lahmian medium's got a little bit more thickness to it, so hopefully the Typhus corrosion won't settle out as quickly whilst we're preparing it. So what I'm going to do is take the old dirty brush that's been messed up by Typhus corrosion in the past and put a little bit into the palette, get it ready to go, close those two down, and the first thing we're going to do is use the slightly larger brush. Actually use that to mix with. Use the other brush that we've just been using to wet the surface. What I'm going to do is just wet the track outline so that it's already wet when we put this stuff on. Then take my brush that's got the Typhus corrosion in it and just run it down the middle of the track. I use a secondary brush, one that I ain't too worried about, just to fade that out a little bit. So what we want the Typhus corrosion to do is bleed out into the material alongside it. Just got to do this bit of track at the front and a tiny little bit at the back, but I'm not going to worry about the underside. Just going to spend most of its time resting on the underside, so I see no need to have to put this material on there as well, especially as you're never going to see it. So that's that side done, and you can compare the two sides. One just looks a little bit more grimy than the other now. So same thing to the other side, just wet the side. We're going to go a little bit more extensive with this than we did with the lemon rust, purely because there's some additional details we can take advantage of. It's the same process, straight down the middle. Use the other brush just to feather it out a little bit. Need a little bit more on some of these bits down the side. Just a little bit too clean. Especially on that bit where it's going to end up catching dirt because it's less exposed. Same on the other side. Just do that as well at the same time. It's about playing around with the pigments, moving them about. Anyway, you don't want it, just take your brush and wash it away. There's some places where dirt is going to collect more than others, so I'll run a little bit down here, not a lot. I'm just going to literally swap it and then use the other brush to pull it down. Any excess that we don't want somewhere, we just pull away with a brush onto the surface that we're using. The other place that this stuff is going to collect, because it's enclosed and we've got a depression and the wind's going to catch it and stuff like that, we're going to end up with Typhus corrosion collecting in this recess down the back here. So all I've done is I've wetted the track or the section a hole around it. I'm going to come in, swap a little bit in, drag the brush through. Doesn't matter if it looks a bit too neat, I'll come back in with the other brush. Just blend it out a little bit, and again right at the back of that engine cowling, we're going to get some collect as well, so just load that in there. Done. Might just drag a little bit around here just to make it look a little dirtier. Put some splops on the back plate. At the same time, on this larger component, the bottom section and the inside is going to be where dirt and grime collect because of the way the wind will blow around. So I'm just going to wet this part quite liberally around the base of it, around the base of the uprights, and then I'm going to shove what I've got left into those bits. Might need a little bit more actually. I might just use some neat. So we're already well wet. So this is the difference between the stuff neat and the watered down. I'll put a bit on the underside up here. Now that's in, I want to try and move it around as best I can, clear it from the top surfaces, the sharp edges, and let it collect in the recesses if I can. Sorry for moving this about a lot for the camera, folks. I'm just going to try and get underneath, just so that the bottom of this looks, again, dirty like the rest of it. Because of the way it's going to situate above the track, we'll probably end up with some dirt on the underside as well. So let's actually wet it first. Just because of the way where it sits on the track, you're going to get mud spatter all up the underside. So now that we've put that on there, what we'll do is keep wetting the brush. Pardon me, folks. Just splodge that out. We can leave that to dry now as it is, and that'll look quite effective when we're finished. Just pull a little bit of the excess off. Yeah, I've done that. Messed up. That's better. So we'll leave that to dry. We should be back in a minute.